Don't forget to go to ashkicking.com for pound the best home health and beauty fragrance product.
Hi, this is Brittany Madison, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Okay, now blow.
Okay, sorry.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? I figured this was a good week to go back down memory lane and talk about Mikey Garcia's brother, Robert Garcia, who was a good champion at 130, junior lightweight division. He was undefeated. He was one of the best fighters in that division at the time. Now, Robert Garcia, who was on the verge of trying to unify the belts with Floyd Mayweather at the time, he had to defend his title against an undefeated, very dangerous, very tall Garcia-Corrales. And obviously the reason why I'm bringing up this fight, because the similarities are unbelievable when you compare Robert Easter to Garcia-Corrales. Robert Easter and Corrales, they're both around the same height. They're both known for being very tall fighters, giving up their reach advantage and fighting on the inside most of the time. At least this is the perception when it comes to Robert Easter. To make it even more ironic, Robert Garcia's style is very similar to his brother's style, Mikey Garcia. They're both boxer punchers. Not only was Robert Garcia a puncher, but he actually went into the fight against Corrales with a higher knockout ratio than Garcia-Corrales, who was a knockout artist himself. Something else both fights have in common is both fighters were undefeated in the Garcia-Corrales versus Robert Garcia fight, just like Garcia versus Easter. Now we get into what happened in that fight and the results of the Robert Garcia versus Garcia-Corrales fight. Just in case you didn't know how that fight played out, Robert Garcia was knocked out in the 7th round by Garcia-Corrales. Actually, Robert Garcia, he started off really well in the fight. So Robert Garcia, he was able to outbox Garcia-Corrales for quite some time until Garcia-Corrales started to catch up with Garcia and knock him out. So the question is this a preview to what we will see this weekend with Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter? Well, if the fight does play out the way this fight played out with Garcia and Corrales, then it favors both Mikey Garcia and Robert Easter. Because that means that either Mikey Garcia is going to go in there and completely outbox Robert Easter, or he's going to go in there, outbox Robert Easter, and then Robert Easter is going to catch Mikey Garcia later on and stop him. I don't know if the fight will play out that way. Maybe Robert Garcia's fight with Garcia-Corrales, maybe it means something, maybe it means nothing at all. But we will definitely find out this weekend. As I told you guys before, it should be a very competitive fight. Mikey Garcia, he's been agreeing with everything that I've been saying. He just said this week that this is a very dangerous fight. Robert Easter is dangerous. I already told you guys before, when I interviewed Mikey Garcia about a year and a half ago, he said that out of all the champions, because I asked him the question, who would you say is the most difficult to beat, the best champion in the lightweight division outside of yourself? And with no hesitation, he said it was Robert Easter. He said he believed because of his height and reach, he will be difficult to beat, okay? So, like I said, Mikey Garcia, he's been pretty much agreeing with my assessment. He's been agreeing with Paulie Malignaggi's assessment and other boxing analysts when it comes to this fight being a possible competitive fight or even Mikey Garcia's most difficult fight. There's always a possibility he can go in there and blow out Robert Easter. It could be a first-round knockout. But realistically, I believe it will be a... Now, the crazy thing, what I notice is it's okay for Mikey Garcia to say the exact same things that you guys hear me say about this fight. But for some reason, when someone on the coincidental list like myself, when I say it, All these racist messages emerge in the comment section just for saying the fight is competitive. These Mikey Garcia fans, they don't even want to hear that the fight is competitive. They want you to say Robert Easter has no chance, he gets annihilated. Now that won't be biased, right? Let these fans tell it. But say the fight is a 50-50 fight. And like I said, they don't mind if Mikey Garcia says it, because then they'll try to change his meaning. Oh, what he really meant to say is he's gonna beat the hell out of Robert Easter, and that's not, he's just being nice, and etc., right? Even though Mikey Garcia, he said this almost 2 years ago when there was no plans of him facing Robert Easter. And he only said this about Robert Easter. He didn't say this about every fighter, so it had nothing to do with him being nice, obviously. But yeah, I noticed this. Whenever I make these videos talking about this fight being competitive, I see some of the most racist comments in the comment section. And as always, no one ever responds to those racists and asks them, why are you playing the race card? Why are you race baiting? Etc., etc., etc. Notice, these racist fans, they only accuse a black person of playing the race card because those are code words and code terms for what they really want to call black people. You're gonna see all these racist comments in the comment section and then ask me, why am I talking about race? But you don't never ask them why they're talking about race. We know what you about. Trust me, everyone knows what you about. So you could keep using them code words, but we all know how to translate what you're saying. This is one of the reasons I really miss doing the radio show. We'll be doing the radio show the beginning of August. Coming back real soon. I'll be returning back to the States August 1st. And we'll be doing a whole lot of radio shows for sure. So once again, man, I want to get these ignorant fans to call in. Every time I do these Mikey Garcia videos, they flood the comment section with all these racist comments. Call in. Call in and let's have some dialogue. Let's have a real conversation about this so I can expose you for what you really are. And I do that with facts, not opinion, baby. We do it with facts. Once again, guys, what you guys are not understanding is nothing that I talked about has anything to do with who's going to win this fight, Robert Easter or Mikey Garcia. All I've said is the fight is competitive, right? It's just amazing to me. I could understand if someone was just saying every day, Robert Easter is gonna knock out Mikey. This fight ain't going no more than 2 rounds. He gonna annihilate him. He gonna do this, he gonna do that, right? No one is even saying that. I'm saying the fight is competitive. And once again, these fans are so emotionally attached, they don't even want to hear that it's competitive. See, decafs, unlike you, I don't base what I say on emotion. I don't do that. If I think that this is an easy fight for Mikey Garcia, I'm gonna tell you guys that. If I think that Mikey Garcia is gonna annihilate Robert Easter, I will tell you that. Just like when I talked about David Benavidez versus Anthony Durrell. I told you guys that I believe David Benavidez is gonna win that fight, and that is an uphill battle for Durrell. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to just say something based off of emotion when you know your prediction is gonna be dead wrong. Why even do that? It makes no sense. Emotions cannot change the result of a fight or what may play out. And in this fight right here with Robert Easter and Mikey Garcia, I would not be surprised if Mikey wins. I would not be surprised if Robert Easter wins. It is that kind of fight. But once again, we'll see what happens this weekend. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.